On December 14th of 2017, McNally Smith students woke to a shock. President Harry Chambers sent out a mass email letting students know that due to a lack of enrollment and funds, McNally Smith was forced to close its doors permanently. I created this video back in March of 2017 because of a class at McNally Smith College of Music, which you will find out in the video. Originally, I had a lot of edits planned. I wanted to change the title, but I decided at the end of the day, none of that matters now. I want to upload this video so it can act as a testament to the knowledge that I gained in my time at McNally Smith. To all students who worked very hard to get a piece of paper like this, I dedicate this video to you. Rock on. If anyone watching or listening to this follows me on social media or knows of the musical group that I'm associated with, the Owl Eyes, you probably have heard as of late that I want to get back into video content creation. Why does any of this matter? Well, simply put, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, then that means that I actually got the cojones to look at what I made and said, hey, this is good enough, and put it out. Starting, hopefully, a chain reaction of me putting out more video content like this in the future. If you are not watching this on YouTube, you are instead one of my classmates that I had the pleasure of going to South by Southwest with, and this is my 5 to 10 minute video presentation trying to sum up my entire South by Southwest experience, what I saw, what I learned, etc. So, my South by Southwest experience. How do I even start? Well, I do have a 5-page paper that I had to write for the final in the class. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're like, what is South by Southwest? Well, simply put, South by Southwest is the #1 gathering of the music industry globally. I was down in Austin, Texas for South by Southwest 2017 as part of a class I was taking for my business degree at McNally Smith College of Music. This class is called the South by Southwest class for obvious reasons. In this class, students attend South by Southwest for 1 week and get a hands-on experience in what it's like presenting a showcase at the largest gathering of the global music industry in the world. Our class had partnered up with Noise Trade and Pledge Music, who were presenting both the Cliff Bar Bash and Fridays at the Blackheart on the prominent Rainy Street in Austin, Texas. Speaking of Austin, Texas, that place has always been a particular interest to me. You see, not only does it have a rich and vibrant music scene with a ton of history backing it up, I am also a huge fan of podcasting, and some of my favorite podcasts are located in Austin, Texas. This is a video from Double Toasted's YouTube page. Double Toasted is a podcast network located in, where else? Austin, Texas. Let's watch the guys in action.
Silly. This is just silly. They got you, Martin, as a ventriloquist, and they got Corey Goodwin as the dummy. Don't talk to me or my son ever again.
I love that face that called Martin.
Jose, I know you wanted this.
Yeah,
Ooh, baby.
You know, the funny thing is,
Baby,
guys,
baby.
this isn't the first time Goodwin's blindfolded me.
On last Tuesday's show, the weekly roast and toast, we talked about this fucking idiot right here.
Oh, no! Get out of the water! Get out of the water! Get out of the fucking water!
You know what? First of all, I like that yell right there. Oh Lord!
Oh, Lord!
I love the reaction. It's people who set themselves on fire and then they say, "Oh shit, I'm on fire!" yeah. I'm telling y'all are, man, y'all wild for this shit, and y'all got it. You ain't look. You can go to Double Toast. You ain't got to pay anything, but y'all got to go there and look at some of this fan art people do. This shit is crazy.
As you can see, these guys are really funny, and I've been laughing my ass off to them since before Double Toasted. They had another website long ago called spill.com. So when I knew for sure that I was going to be in the South by Southwest class, I knew that meant there was the possibility of not only seeing badass live music, which I did, and not only did I realize that I was being presented with a major networking opportunity to get my name out there in the music industry, but there was also the possibility of running into and interviewing the Double Toasted guys. Yeah, it was kind of like that. But even if I didn't get to interview the Double Toasted guys, I would eventually have to interview someone while I was down there. Since I was in a class, we were required to come up with 3 questions and have answers for these questions by the end of the week at South by Southwest. My 3 questions were, number 1, in your own opinion, aside from writing and recording the music, what are the necessary steps to release an album and when should each step take place? My second question, is it possible to balance a career in the music industry in both behind the scenes and as a performer, or is it wiser to be a performer first before a business head, and or vice versa? And finally, what process did you take in order to establish yourself with your PRO and receive royalties? Here's the bitch of it though. Not one answer I received could be considered anything but straightforward. Like, oh my God, if you're looking for anything straightforward in the music industry, pack your bags and go home, because this is a Pan's Labyrinth maze of what the fuck. However, I did receive some answers, and these answers are attached to 2 of my fondest memories that I had while at South by Southwest. So let's just talk about those. Memory number 1, meeting Melvin Gibbs. Side note, I am a huge Rollins Band fan. I'm just a general giant fan of Henry Rollins in general. Try saying that tongue twister 10 times fast. And Melvin Gibbs is the bass player for Rollins Band for their most commercially successful album, Wait. No, that wasn't a command. That's actually the name of the album. Weight as in lifting weights. See? Because Henry Rollins lifted a lot of weights. Anyways, in some ways I can say that Rollins Band saved me, because whenever I've been at my lowest points when dealing with sadness, Rollins Band was always the music I'd listen to motivate me and inspire me to keep going and to push forward. I met Mr. Gibbs at the panel entitled Keeping Music Culture Alive in the Streaming Age. As a panelist, he, along with Nigel House, Jonathan Coleman, and Nikki Newman, discussed on how to keep generating music scenes that cultivate great artists together in one area in a time when the internet is breaking geological boundaries on how a band gets its music out there. However, the trade-off is that our cultivation of music scenes that inspired movements like punk, post-punk, new wave, and electronica is no longer the same. How does one keep music culture alive in a streaming age? As the panelists introduced themselves, I began to realize that I recognized the gentleman in the dreadlocks when he said the following.
I'm Melvin Gibbs. I'm also a president of an organization called the Content Creators Coalition, which is an artist advocacy organization. In the 90s, I was a semi-famous rock and roller as a member of the Rollins Band.
Wait. No, I'm not saying the album title anymore. I'm actually commanding, wait, oh my God, this is Melvin Gibbs. This is the guy whose bass line saved me from suicide. Holy crap. Oh my God, I gotta talk to him. I knew within that moment that I had to speak with him after the panel was done, as he would be the perfect person to answer my question on what the necessary steps were for an artist to release an album. I mean, he was on the panel representing performers in the music industry. Who else would you talk to as a performer? When I asked him my question, he responded with this.
I mean, my short thing is that in another context, you have to do what your fans need for you to do. Do your fans need you to put a video up on YouTube? No, you should do all of it. I mean, but in the music business in 2017, the live shows are right now. The live shows are the most important thing.
Gotcha.
That's just kind of what it is. Awesome. I mean, it always has been the most important thing, but now it's the most important thing times 5.
Yeah, now it's the bread and butter.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Melvin, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Have a good day. I definitely will be thinking about that, Mr. Gibbs. Memory number 2, meeting and interviewing the Double Toasted crew. Yeah, those guys that I showed you at the beginning of the video back when you had feeling in your ass, I actually got to do what I thought I was going to do. I got to interview them. or at least interview the main guy, Mr. Corey Coleman. And it was great. I had a tremendous time. However, the ordeal I went through in order to plan the occasion began on Friday, March 10th. You see, I emailed Mr. Corey Coleman out of the blue, thinking that if I couldn't interview him, I had plenty of prospects of potential interviewees at South by Southwest. Surprisingly, however, he responded to my email 30 minutes later, saying that he would love to meet up with me. I assumed that the rest of his electronic communications would be as punctual as his first one. I was wrong in making that assumption. But at the same time, if I were to criticize this from Mr. Coleman, I would be a hypocrite, because whenever I get extremely busy, lost within my determination, I forget to check my emails from time to time too. So it's all good. I ended up getting to meet them anyways, and I got to interview the dude. However, if you're watching this video and I don't have video with me and Corey talking, then that means that I never heard back from him asking to send me the video he recorded of the interview. Yeah. At the end of the day, it does not matter. I got to attend a live taping of a podcast I love. By the way, here's a clip.
Now let me ask you this, Gertz. And I hear from our audience over here, Evan. I'm sorry, is it Ethan or Evan? Ethan. I'm not gonna get that right. Ethan.
Also, I ended up catching the eyes of one Mr. Hugo Ezefuel. I really hope to God I pronounce his name right, because this guy might give me the opportunity to be featured on his podcast, the What If Podcast, based out of Dallas, Texas. I'm sorry, Hugo actually lives in Houston, not Dallas. Please don't kill me, please don't kill me, please don't kill me. When I finally got to interview Mr. Corey Coleman, it was around 10 p.m. at night. He had just gotten back from a dinner that he had already made plans to join prior to my arrival. I figured he would be the perfect person to ask the question about balance in the industry as both a performer and someone working behind the scenes, for he is not only an internet personality and an animator, but he also handles all the finances for doubletoasted.com. So when I finally did talk to him and I asked him my second question, he responded with this.
Some of the best people out there who are moguls and entrepreneurs are the ones that are really doing well in the business. I mean, if I can just, I don't know, you're a musician, if I can just refer to hip hop for a moment.
Okay.
Look at Jay-Z as a recent example, and look at Sean Combs, Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
In the 90s, that's what he was. He was an artist. He was a rapper. He's a dancer, but he hustled money on the side too, you know, and got his business going.
Man, how can I forget Puff Daddy? Even better, he also offhandedly answered my third question, to the point that I didn't even realize he answered my third question until listening back to the audio, and then I heard this.
Well, personality is one thing, you know. I mean, all these guys are cool on camera and on audio, but I know for myself, I know how to relate to an audience and how to work an audience. You can be one of the most mundane comedians or speakers or whatever, but it is, as far as your material. But if you know how to connect with an audience, then people they'll feel it, and they love that. And so everything I've done, that's what I've tried to do. I've tried to keep in mind the audience and realize that is what's going to make or break you.
Yes.
And that's what I do. And as far as everything else goes, it's always, all right, how professional can I present this stuff with the resources that I have? When I was doing Access Television, once I knew people were watching, I went out of my way to put on a good show.
At the end of the night, Corey Coleman invited me out to drinks, but unfortunately, due to the early time that we would have to leave in the morning, I did the stupid/responsible thing and went back to my hotel room to sleep. Corey Coleman, if you're watching this, I just want you to know that I am still 100% down to go out through Austin with you and get shit-faced at one of the many fine bars that you have there. All right. That's basically it. That is my entire South by Southwest experience in a nutshell. Overall, I had a blast, and I cannot wait to go back as soon as possible. Crazy? Yeah, but I'm a musician. We gotta be a little crazy to do these sort of things.